Welcome to the Discourse Analyzer AI Toolkit, where articles come alive. You're listening to the audio version of our article. For the full text and an interactive experience, check out the link in the description below. Interact with any selection using our AI assistant to enhance your understanding. Let's explore.
Enhancing communication in discourse analysis. Enhancing communication in discourse analysis refers to the process of understanding and improving how language is used to foster clearer, more effective, and equitable interactions. Discourse analysis helps uncover the structures, strategies, and power dynamics embedded in communication, revealing areas where miscommunication, misunderstandings, or biases may arise. By analyzing these aspects, discourse analysts can offer insights into how communication practices can be refined to promote better interaction, mutual understanding, and more inclusive dialogues across various settings such as organizations, media, healthcare, education, and social media. Discourse analysis goes beyond surface-level language to examine how communication is structured, how meanings are negotiated, and how identities and relationships are formed through language. By applying these insights, organizations, institutions, and individuals can enhance the effectiveness of their communication practices. Key areas for enhancing communication through discourse analysis. Point 1. Clarifying meaning and reducing ambiguity. One of the goals of discourse analysis is to uncover instances where language is unclear or ambiguous, leading to miscommunication or misunderstanding. By identifying such patterns, analysts can suggest ways to clarify meaning and make communication more precise and transparent. Example: in corporate communication, ambiguity can arise in policy documents or emails, where vague terms such as soon as possible or in due course are used. A discourse analysis might highlight the use of these ambiguous terms and recommend more specific alternatives, such as by the end of the day or within 48 hours. This reduces uncertainty and helps enhance clarity and accountability in communication. Point 2. Improving inclusivity in language. Discourse analysis can reveal how certain forms of language may exclude or marginalize certain groups, often through the use of gendered language, cultural assumptions, or implicit biases. By recognizing these patterns, communication can be made more inclusive and respectful of diversity. Example: in educational settings, discourse analysis might reveal that teachers often address students using masculine terms like guys to refer to the entire class. By recommending the use of gender-neutral language such as everyone or students, communication can be made more inclusive, fostering a more equitable learning environment where all students feel acknowledged. Point 3. Enhancing power dynamics and equality in interaction. Discourse analysis often focuses on how power relations are enacted through language, particularly in hierarchical settings like workplaces, classrooms, or medical consultations. By analyzing how power dynamics manifest in communication, adjustments can be made to create more equitable interactions and empower marginalized voices. Example: in a medical consultation, discourse analysis might reveal that doctors dominate the conversation, using medical jargon and giving commands without considering the patient's input. Enhancing communication in this context could involve training healthcare professionals to use more inclusive language, such as asking open-ended questions: how are you feeling about this treatment plan? And avoiding technical terms that the patient might not understand. This shift helps foster patient engagement and shared decision-making. Point 4. Promoting active listening and collaboration. Effective communication relies on active listening, where participants in a conversation engage with one another's ideas rather than simply waiting for their turn to speak. Discourse analysis can reveal patterns of interruption, lack of acknowledgement, or dismissive responses that undermine collaborative communication. By identifying these patterns, communication practices can be improved to promote more respectful and meaningful exchanges. Example: in workplace meetings, a discourse analysis might show that senior staff frequently interrupt or dominate conversations, leaving little room for junior staff to contribute. By highlighting this, organizations can implement communication strategies that encourage active listening, such as setting rules for turn-taking or explicitly inviting input from all team members. This ensures that communication is more democratic and collaborative. Point 5. Facilitating conflict resolution. Discourse analysis can be particularly useful in situations of conflict, where communication breakdowns often exacerbate tensions. By analyzing the language used in conflict situations, discourse analysts can help identify the root causes of misunderstandings and suggest ways to improve communication to resolve conflicts more effectively. Example: in a workplace conflict over project responsibilities, discourse analysis might reveal that employees use passive-aggressive language, such as sarcastic comments or vague criticisms, which fuels resentment. By identifying these patterns, communication strategies can be adjusted to promote more direct and constructive dialogue, such as using "I" statements to express concerns. "I feel overwhelmed when deadlines aren't clear," rather than blaming others. Point 6. Cultural sensitivity and cross-cultural communication. In multicultural and international contexts, misunderstandings can arise due to differences in cultural communication styles. Discourse analysis can reveal how language use varies across cultures and how misinterpretations occur, offering ways to enhance cross-cultural communication by adapting language to be more culturally sensitive. Example: in global business meetings, a discourse analysis might reveal that Western participants tend to use direct language, while participants from East Asian cultures prefer more indirect, polite expressions. By understanding these differences, communication can be enhanced by encouraging Western participants to recognize and respect indirect communication styles, while also helping East Asian participants feel comfortable expressing more direct opinions when needed. Methods for enhancing communication through discourse analysis. Point 1. Conversation analysis, CA. Conversation analysis, CA, focuses on the micro-level details of spoken interactions, such as turn-taking, repair mechanisms, and pauses. By analyzing how these conversational elements function, communication strategies can be adjusted to promote smoother and more effective interactions. Example: in analyzing call center interactions, CA might reveal that call agents frequently interrupt customers while they are explaining their issues. To enhance communication, agents could be trained to allow customers to finish speaking before responding, improving the customer experience and reducing frustration. Point 2. Multimodal discourse analysis. Multimodal discourse analysis examines how multiple modes of communication, such as spoken or written language, visuals, gestures, and spatial arrangements, interact to create meaning. This method is especially useful for enhancing communication in contexts where nonverbal cues play a significant role. Example: in analyzing video conferencing, multimodal discourse analysis might reveal that certain visual cues, such as making eye contact or using hand gestures, are lacking, leading to a sense of disconnection between participants. To enhance communication, participants could be encouraged to make more deliberate use of facial expressions and body language to maintain engagement during virtual meetings. Point 3. Critical discourse analysis, CDA. Critical discourse analysis, CDA, examines how language reflects and perpetuates power relations and social inequalities. By uncovering how these dynamics play out in communication, CDA can offer strategies to promote more equitable and inclusive dialogue. Example: in an analysis of corporate leadership discourse, CDA might show that executives frequently use authoritative language, which silences subordinate voices. To enhance communication, CDA might recommend more collaborative leadership styles, where language is used to invite input and share decision-making power with employees, fostering a more participatory work environment. 4. Pragmatic analysis. Pragmatic analysis examines how context influences the way language is interpreted and used, focusing on speech acts such as requests, promises, and commands. By analyzing the pragmatics of communication, discourse analysts can help refine how messages are conveyed to ensure they are interpreted as intended. Example: in educational discourse, pragmatic analysis might reveal that teachers' indirect requests, "It would be great if you could hand in your assignments by tomorrow," are often interpreted as optional rather than mandatory. To enhance communication, teachers could adopt more direct language, "Please submit your assignments by tomorrow," to ensure clarity and reduce confusion among students. Examples of enhancing communication in discourse analysis. Example 1. Enhancing communication in healthcare settings. In a discourse analysis of doctor-patient interactions, Researchers might uncover that doctors frequently use medical jargon that confuses patients and leads to misunderstandings. To enhance communication, healthcare providers can be trained to use plain language and check for understanding by asking patients to repeat information in their own words. This improves patient comprehension and encourages shared decision-making, leading to better health outcomes. Example 2. Enhancing communication in educational settings. In classrooms, discourse analysis might reveal that teachers often use closed-ended questions. Is this clear? That limit student engagement. To enhance communication, teachers can be encouraged to ask open-ended questions. Can you explain how you arrived at that answer? To promote deeper thinking and more active participation. This strategy fosters a more interactive and collaborative learning environment. Example 3. Enhancing communication in organizational contexts. A discourse analysis of emails within a corporate environment might reveal that employees often use vague language, leading to misinterpretations and inefficiencies. By identifying patterns such as the overuse of passive voice, the report was finished late, or unclear deadlines, communication can be enhanced by encouraging more direct and specific language. I submitted the report late yesterday due to X. This improves clarity and accountability in professional interactions. Example 4. Enhancing communication in social media. In a discourse analysis of social media discussions about a controversial topic, analysts might find that users frequently engage in confrontational language, leading to polarized debates. To enhance communication, platforms can encourage the use of discourse strategies like civility prompts, e.g., asking users to consider whether their comment is respectful, or providing guidelines for constructive dialogue, helping users engage in more productive and respectful online conversations. Challenges in enhancing communication through discourse analysis. Point 1. Contextual complexity. Effective communication varies widely depending on the context, culture, and participants involved. Discourse analysis must take these factors into account, making it challenging to apply general communication strategies across different contexts. Example: a communication strategy that works well in a hierarchical corporate setting may not be effective in a more collaborative and informal educational environment. Point 2. Resistance to change. In institutional settings, there may be resistance to changing communication practices, particularly when established power structures are involved. Organizations or individuals in positions of authority may be reluctant to adopt more inclusive or collaborative communication styles that diminish their control. Point 3. Balancing clarity with nuance. While enhancing communication often involves making language clearer and more direct, there are situations where subtlety and ambiguity are necessary. Discourse analysts must balance the need for clarity with the recognition that indirect language or politeness strategies can be essential for maintaining social harmony or face-saving. Conclusion. Discourse analysis offers valuable insights into how communication can be enhanced across various contexts, from healthcare and education to business and social media. By uncovering patterns of ambiguity, exclusion, power dynamics, and miscommunication, discourse analysts provide practical strategies for improving clarity, inclusivity, and collaboration. Whether through conversation analysis, multimodal analysis, or critical discourse analysis, these methodologies help refine communication practices, leading to more effective and meaningful interactions in both personal and professional settings. Frequently asked questions. What does enhancing communication in discourse analysis involve? Enhancing communication in discourse analysis refers to understanding and improving how language is used to foster clearer, more effective, and equitable interactions by identifying patterns of miscommunication, ambiguity, or exclusion in various settings. How can discourse analysis help clarify meaning? Discourse analysis uncovers instances of vague or ambiguous language, enabling researchers to suggest clearer alternatives. This reduces miscommunication and improves the precision and transparency of interactions. What role does inclusivity play in enhancing communication? Inclusivity in communication involves recognizing and addressing language that may marginalize or exclude certain groups. Discourse analysis highlights these patterns and offers ways to make language more inclusive, promoting diversity and respect. How does discourse analysis address power dynamics in communication? By examining how power relations are enacted through language, discourse analysis reveals hierarchical communication patterns and suggests strategies to create more equal and empowering interactions. How does discourse analysis promote active listening and collaboration? It identifies patterns of interruption or dismissive responses, encouraging active listening and turn-taking strategies that foster more respectful and collaborative dialogue. Can discourse analysis help in conflict resolution? Yes, discourse analysis examines language used in conflicts to uncover misunderstandings and suggest ways to foster more constructive, direct, and solution-focused communication. How does cultural sensitivity benefit from discourse analysis? Discourse analysis reveals how cultural differences in communication styles can lead to misunderstandings. By understanding these differences, it suggests ways to enhance cross-cultural communication. What is conversation analysis, CA? And how does it improve communication? CA examines the micro-details of spoken interactions, such as turn-taking and repairs, to promote smoother communication by identifying where breakdowns occur and how they can be avoided. How does multimodal discourse analysis enhance communication? It looks at how different modes, e.g., visuals, gestures, text, interact to create meaning, offering insights into improving communication in contexts that rely on nonverbal cues as well as spoken language. What role does critical discourse analysis, CDA, play in enhancing communication? CDA focuses on power and social inequalities reflected in language, providing strategies to promote more equitable, inclusive dialogue by addressing and challenging oppressive communication practices.